Welcome back to another episode of Sunday Stock Talks, the place where we go over the most up-to-date news and technical analysis that will be affecting the market in the upcoming week. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Thank you guys for tuning back into another video. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. So ideally, I would have liked to get this video out yesterday because, obviously Sunday Stock Talks go out on Sunday. But, today, right now, it's Monday at like 2 a.m. So, yeah, I guess that's that. But I guess the first thing I want to go over is the chart of SPY. And not much has changed since last stock talk. Last stock talk, when we left off, we drew these lines, and these lines are still applicable right now. So when SPY and the futures opened Sunday at 5, we started downtrending. We were at right around 306 last Friday at close, and we opened today right around 304, which is this red line of support. And you guys can see, we bounced off multiple times, which is why we were able to bounce off again right here. And so after that bounce, we kind of started uptrending slowly, and as of right now, the futures are actually green. The current price of SPY is right around 305.60, but in about 6 hours that could change. Part of the reason why we had this big drop is there's actually two reasons that I'm going to go over. The first one is that there's been some tensions that have started to rise again with China and Trump, and so that is going to definitely affect the market in the upcoming week. President Trump has the tendency to tweet out whatever he is thinking inside of his head, and sometimes if you're on the wrong side of the trade, that can make your trades go ugly. So I definitely watch out for that. But probably the more important thing that has been going on, which also caused the slight drop in the futures market at open, was all the riots that have been going on with the looting and all that. And so I don't want to get too much into detail as to that, because I think that's a lot more political than financial. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So now that we established kind of the trend on SPY, I'm going to go ahead over to the Dow Jones future. I think it's /YMM. I actually always forget the ticker symbol for this future, because it really has nothing to do with the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, it's DIA, and the Dow Jones future is YMM, so completely different. So as you can see, a very similar uptrending pattern as compared to SPY. We can see the big drop in the futures market right at opened today at 5, but then slowly started to uptrend back all the way up to this level right here. But usually I like to use the DIA as a tracker instead of just the Dow Jones future, just because it's a little bit easier to comprehend, and you really can't put too many technical indicators on the futures because they expire, so they wouldn't be able to fit. So what I mentioned in the last video is that the Dow Jones is slowly progressing towards the 200-day moving average. And as I mentioned in the last video, if the Dow Jones is able to break over this 200-day moving average, which is right around 263, then that's going to be a very bullish sign for the stock market. SPY is currently over its 200-day moving average, and if I remember correctly, its 200-day moving average sits right around 299. So as long as SPY stays above 299, that should help the Dow Jones uptrend and get closer towards this 263 level. And if we go ahead and look at a even bigger picture, we're going to see that reason why that's going to be a really bullish sign is because the last time that the Dow Jones was above the 200-day moving average was almost 2 months ago right before the whole coronavirus pandemic, right around what does that say? Right around February 24th. So the last week of February, before all of this crazy stuff started happening. So that should definitely signify a very good reversal, and that should boost overall confidence in all the investors. And if this does, if we are able to reach above the 200-day moving average, then I wouldn't be surprised if we headed closer towards all-time high again. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how everything plays out, because like I mentioned, those two big things that are more likely going to affect the market in the upcoming week. And we still don't have a definite answer. For example, more about the riots. Where I live, we had a curfew installed, so they the police were going out and making sure that no one was out past 8. Thankfully, we where I live here in Illinois and Chicago, nothing major has happened. Some bad looting happened in downtown, but I live in the suburbs, so nothing too bad. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how this all plays out. I think that it should get resolved fairly soon, or at least I hope so, because adding more into what has been a rough year already, it's just not gonna make it any better. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.